little birdie friend flew into the window, and I think he's going to be okay though. Hi, little birdie. You okay? Ready to fly? Here's my little birdie friend. He's sitting in the tree. Still think he's a little stunned. I think he likes me now. He's gonna let me touch him. Yeah. Hello there. Hello. Yeah. Are we okay? Well, I hope you fly away soon. Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm John.
And we're the Geezers on the Go.
Go, go, go.
In this episode, we're at Stony Fork Campground in the Jefferson National Forest of Virginia, tucked in amongst the Appalachians at nearly 2,500 feet altitude. The park is located just off Interstate 77, near the town of Bland, population 300 and change. Stony Fork has 53 sites, 11 with water and electric, and another 23 with electric only. The east branch of the Stony Fork Creek winds through the campground, and it is stocked with trout.
We'll also head over to the town of Rural Retreat and show you a cool little county park. Watch out for the goose crossing. Then we'll cruise down the Crooked Road, a musically minded pathway that's a designated Virginia Heritage Highway. And that'll lead us right to Big Walker Lookout, where Bluegrass is the tune, where Civil War cannons once boomed.
We're here at Stony Fork Campground in the Jefferson National Forest in Bland, Virginia. We're in site number 43. We're sort of in, not that far off the Interstate 81, where it sort of begins. We're sort of in the southwestern corner of Virginia. And our site has water and electric, and it's nice and paved. And John says he likes it because it reminds him of when he was a Boy Scout. Because of all the trees. And I said they had a controlled burn here not even a week ago. And what they did, they must have chopped down some trees, and they left us all the firewood. So we're going to have at least one campfire while we're here. As you go around our site, which is really nice, there's the water and the electric, pretty easily located, but we have this big grassy knoll back here, so that if you want to play some frisbee, or if you had kids, you could play some wiffle ball, throw the football, play some soccer. It'd be really a fun place. And the other perk to this spot is we're right across from the bathroom, so that's pretty good when you don't have sewer hookups. So we're really liking this National Forest Park, which we usually do, and this one hasn't disappointed yet. Sometimes I wish we had smell-o-vision because right now the trees here are just starting to bloom, and they smell so good as we come into Stony Fork Campground. It's a National Forest Park, and this is, I guess that's actually site number 1, but there's no utilities at that one. I think the first couple there's no utilities, and there's one section that has water and electric, and there's another section that just has electric. As we come through, that's 4, we just passed 3, and this is 5, and they don't have any, I said, no hookups at all. 5 is very pretty though, because it has lots of area in the back, as is 6. Nice and big, but no utilities. And you come across here, and I guess that little post there shows you how high the water might be if it does get flooded. And I've seen some pictures of this road flooded, but this area has had a lot of a dry winter and past fall, so I don't think the water's going to be running too high in this area. After you cross this first little bridge, you finally come into the sites that have electric, and I would say number 7 is probably one of the nicest sites here because it's a big pull-through, and it sort of overlooks the creek down there. Very big. And then as you keep going along here, all these for about the next 30 sites, I think, all have at least electric. This is site number 10, which is very long, and I think it's connected to some trails, but it's kind of an odd site because it's very long, but your picnic table is way the heck over there. 14 also would be a nice site. It's got electric, and it backs up to the trees. At least your picnic table is pretty close, and it wouldn't be too hard to turn in here. All the roads are paved, so that's also a nice plus. Everything's not quite so sandy. And if you want a bike ride, it's an easy bike ride around the park. Somebody had put a bunch of flags around the campground at the campsite. This poor flag is laying on the ground, which is never any good. So we'll see if we can put it back up. Site number 16. And just past site number 16, you go across another one of these little bridges that go across the creek. And again, they tell you there could be a flash flood at any time. I don't think it's happening too soon, but who knows. This one's a little more narrow than or part of the creek than the rest of the creek. And it's not as much rocks and free flowing around. But I think in the summertime this would be fun to come to, because you could go and stick a toe down in here. This side's a little bit prettier. See a little fishy swimming by. So nice, peaceful. 17's another nice site tucked back in there. That just has electric. As is 18, although 18's could be a little short, but not too bad. You still back up to all the trees and everything. 19 wouldn't be bad, except you're right by, that's the highway up on the top there. I guess it could get a little noisy, but once maybe all the trees fill out, you'll be kind of muffled from the sound. Site 21's a little odd because you come in to your nice site here, and then your picnic table is way up. You have to climb the steps to get up to your picnic table. If you were in some of these sites in the numbers in the 20s, there is a bathroom here, but I hope you wouldn't have to go in a hurry because it's way up on the top of the hill. And as we get past site number 26 and 27, both of which have electric. There.
Hey.
That's okay.
Harry. Harry. Hey.
Anyway, the dogs didn't get me, but there's another creek here by those sites, 26, 27. Another one of those little bridges. This one looks a little lower to the creek than some of the other ones. Right past site number 30 is part of the Stony Fork Nature Trail. I'm going to try that a little later. I think it's about a little more than a mile, and it kind of makes a big loop and comes out down near our campsite in the 40s. So we'll try and see what that one looks like a little later. And there's a couple other trails in the park. One's the Seven Sister Trail, and I think that's around a couple more miles. And then we start at 32 here with the water and electric sites. 33 is another nice one way back in there. Right now the trees are just, oh, so pretty, and they smell so sweet. Got some dogwood, and I think those are called redbuds, the purple ones. 38 is another one that wouldn't be bad. It's a little uphill, and the end's kind of gravelly, but it has water and electric, which wouldn't be bad. And you're back up to the trees, and the bathroom is right there, so you have easy access. This whole park, though, is so pretty. Almost every site. As you get to the end of the loop, this is 48, and over here 49. These, and I think 50. They don't have any utilities here. You have no water or electric. But 49 is very pretty. Nice big long site, as is 49. So if you just have a small camper that you don't need any utilities, they might be fine for you. And there are water spouts around, and you can fill up a water tank several areas in the park. There's also one cabin here. It's a very nice looking cabin. It's pretty big. There's nobody over here today at the little cabin, and it's called Smokey's Retreat. It's kind of cool. It's got some nice swing and some tables. And I'm going around the back because you can see inside. So let me go take a look. I can see a little bit in the windows. It looks like a full kitchen, and then there's a bedroom over here. And then you come out to this really nice open area. There's a picnic table and a grill and a burning fire pit and plus grill. And you're back looking out at the trees. Oh, beautiful setting. We're going to take a walk along what they call the handicap trail. It's nice and flat, and this is John's first real trip since his back operation. You ready? Are you ready?
I had back surgery in December. And
yeah, about 4 months ago.
Yeah, it's now
and almost
middle of April.
Yeah,
toward the end of April.
So we're gonna.
I've been on a couple of little walks, but we're gonna give this one a try here.
It's pretty back here. I got bees buzzing my head.
I think we've got this. I don't know what these are. White jasmine, maybe.
But they smell really good. Well, it's not much of a trail, but it was something. It's about a little bit more than 1/10 of a mile. It comes back out to another part of the campground down here. It was exhilarating. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood here at Stony Fork. Beautiful sunshiny. It's in the mid-60s. And I'm going to come down here and go on the nature trail. It looks like it's going to go a little uphill to start with. But one guy said, yeah, start here because the rest of it's downhill. Making our way up through the pine trees, one of the volunteers said that these aren't really indigenous to this area, but years ago they planted the pine trees to see how they would grow. And I think they've grown pretty good. This little sign here on this tree, I think it's been here a while, says it's a flowering dogwood. Look at how it's grown all around the sign, but I don't think this one's, I don't know if it's going to be flowering much. It looks kind of dead. It's a good thing I turned around just to look at some of the things growing here in the spring, because I found this, there's a foundation here, and it says this was a home site here of the Hendricks family in the early 1900s. And he lived here and his family, and they had 16 kids. I guess they needed it to farm. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Maybe just part of the foundation. But somebody lived up here in the mountains all by themselves. Must have been very quiet. The little sign over there gives you some information about the family. It says a lot of them still live in the area, and many of them are buried at a cemetery that's about 3 miles from the campground.
Yeah, we're here in the Jefferson National Forest. It's a real pretty little place where, you know, we like to get into national forests when we can, but we don't, for some reason, we don't.
They're not always on the way, I guess.
Yeah.
And we're in sort of the southwest corner of Virginia, right?
Yeah, we're sort of just north of North Carolina and south of West Virginia.
And north of Tennessee.
Yeah, north of Tennessee too, so.
But the campground's beautiful.
Yeah, they're all paved sites.
Right.
They're big sites. They're angled nicely, so they're easy to get into.
And that you have a combination of sites here. You have primitive sites with nothing. You have also sites with just electric, and you have sites with electric and water. And you can reserve some sites, and a lot of sites are first come, first serve. So if you're just kind of passing through, you have a chance to just stop and see.
Right. And the only real drawback to the park right now is they just opened up, about a week ago?
Yeah, it's right now almost the end of April, so they just opened up in mid-April.
And before they opened, they did a bunch of controlled burns.
Yeah.
So a few places in the park looks a little black and burned up, but in a month or two, that'll be gone.
Yeah, another cool thing about this park is it's actually Stony Fork Creek goes in and out of the park, and you have to drive over some little cool little bridges that
with
can
no
flood.
guardrails.
With no guardrails, and you have to be careful during flood season because it says it could come over the top. But
yeah, Jill did take a walk down by one of the creek trails.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty.
Yeah, and we also had a chance to go into the nearest town is Withville.
Right, it's about 10 miles.
Yeah, that's got your Walmart and your Lowe's, and then if you want to go a little bit farther, you get to a rural retreat, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just a little town, and it was good because it happened to have an RV place because we needed a part for our propane tank, and plus it's a really cool. It's called the Dutch Pantry, all kinds of homemade stuff and pies and cakes and food.
Yeah, and we also found a little county park there with on a lake. It was closed, but Jill took a walk inside and took a little video.
Camping was kind of pretty on a really nice lake, and then we took a drive up to a Big Walker Lookout.
Oh yeah, that was cool. It's way up in the hills here in
But
Virginia.
it's not real far. It's only like a 5-mile drive, so you can get up
It's farther up, I think, than it
Yeah.
is away.
Yeah, I think it's 3,400 feet, but
And they have a huge lookout tower there, which neither Jill nor I decided we wanted to pay $8 for the torture of walking up.
so instead we spent our money in the nice country store they have there, and they said on weekends from spring through summer they have music festivals there.
And they also have a lookout down lower
Right.
that looks out over a Civil War battlefield, and we're going to take you out there and show you all that good stuff. Rural Retreat is a village about 20 miles from our campground, sort of between Molly's Knob and Cripple Creek, just down the mountain from Fancy Gap. And well, you get the idea. It's rural. But we found a part for our trailer there, and a really top-notch Amish bakery called the Dutch Pantry, and a cool little county park called Rural Retreat Lake Campground. Up there they have a pool. It doesn't appear to be open right now, although it's went down into the 30s last night. I wouldn't blame anybody for not wanting to swim.
Just took a quick walk up the hill, and this is sites 20 and 19, and there's some water spouts. Pretty big sites, and trying to figure out if they have any electric. I'll have to go look later online to see, but interesting sites. Really pretty setting. And then the lake's right down there. Later, I found out that the campground isn't so little. It had 74 sites, 50 with water and electric, just waiting there for opening day. And the 86-acre lake not only has bass and crappie, it's also stocked with northern pike and muskies. Well, I have to stop for the goose crossing. Get out of the way, goosies. I'm coming through.
We're on what they call the Crooked Road. It's Virginia Scenic Byway at Highway 52. Once featured in USA Today as one of the most interesting, fun roads to drive. Highway 52 is only part of what's called the Crooked Road Music Trail, which celebrates the origins of bluegrass music in this area. In all, it covers 300 miles, with music festivals all along the way, all summer long. And Big Walker Lookout is one of those bluegrass stopovers.
We're at 3,400 feet. It's about 5 miles from the campground. And there's a little lookout there, and then there's a big fire tower. I may try to attempt to go up a little bit, and there's a little country store. But you're supposed to be able to see a bunch of states from out here, so let's go take a look. I hope this thing's sturdy enough to hold you, John.
Well, we'll find out, I guess.
Well, you go out first, so if you go crashing, at least I get it on video. But, nope, looks like we're good. Well, I guess I'm not going to go up the tower. It cost me $8 to walk up there and be exhausted. But I suppose if you wanted to, it'd be okay. But I'm not going to go exhaust myself for $8. You probably could see a lot of the area. And this is a cool little country store they have here. And it says they have lots of country music festivals up here, bluegrass and different things. So it'll probably be a fun time to come up here, listen to music. That you can hear actually coming some music from the country store. This is inside the country store, and wow, lots of cool stuff in here. Could be in here all day deciding what to get. Keychains, postcards, fudge, all kinds of stuff.
Don't seem to be able to travel very far in the South without stumbling across yet another Civil War battlefield. This one's a little different than a lot of the others I've seen. The battle here involved a Union colonel named John T. Toland, who led 872 men into the valley to destroy Confederate railroad tracks, telegraph lines, and salt and lead mines. It took him 5 days of bloody battling to get where I'm standing now. Sorry, but I couldn't resist throwing in a little Civil War history at the end. Hope you enjoyed it, and now it's time for us to get marching. And, as always, we'll see you down the road.
Stop, stop, stop!